It's a great, this is a great batch.
Ready
Shani,
to
they
pick?
asked me in the morning for the link for the recording because they want to revise. So they're very much interested in learning Power BI. Very much.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Everybody is after Vinay's life for the link.
No, man. That's I sometimes forget it. Yeah. But you guys are great.
Super enthusiastic group. Trust me. Other trainings, I have to give them little yarn. Please study. Please enjoy what we're trying to teach.
Yeah.
This group is opposite.
It's inborn data scientists.
Yes.
Thank you, Shani. Thank you, Vinay.
Yeah.
We are just
No,
budding.
honestly,
Yeah, we are budding scientists.
budding scientist. Good. I'm also very happy today. My daughter's school started, so very excited that she's out of the
Okay.
house after 2 years.
Okay, that's good.
Hi,
Safe
Shani.
and sound,
Hi,
we will
Vinay.
pray.
Yes. Today is a good day. All
Hi,
right.
Shani. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sunil. Were you able to get the access and everything?
I sort of, but still
Okay.
few things are not working for me. So I just try to
Alright.
fix
Do
it
let
as
me
today
know.
only.
Wherever you feel that, okay, I don't know how to proceed, do let me know. Do you know how to connect to the data set number one?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I
So
have not got the last session.
that's okay. You have Power BI with you?
I have installed, yes.
Yes. So let's just, as a quick revision for everyone also, let's quickly take Sunil through the steps of connecting to Power BI. Step number one would be, let's say if you open a Power BI app, because it's a tiny step. So just learn it, get it out of the way so that you can participate in the class then.
Sure.
All right. So when you open the Power BI app, this is the very first screen that you will be looking at, right? Your middle screen might look little different because depending on who has signed in and not signed in, it looks different. So don't worry about the right side. On the left side, you will see something called Get Data. So once you click on Get Data, it will open another window for us, which will show us that what are the various data types that we can work with. And it's a huge variety that you can work with. So the files that I had asked you to download are the CSV or the text files, these. So we are going to click on the CSV files and then we are going to click on connect. As soon as I do that, it will allow me to go to the folders and pick the file. So the file that everyone has connected to is this file called customer, AdventureWorks customers. So once you click on this, it will upload the data over here. So it will open this file just to show us a preview, a basic preview of how many data sets are there, what do they look like, and then you click on load. Okay, so Neil, try to connect to that data set called customers so that at least you
Yep.
can work with us then.
Sure.
Okay, any questions from anyone?
Ishan, yesterday we did some questions, so the file have made some changes. They are still showing in our save profile. So do we need to cross them or we can go with them?
Not sure, like the changes that we had done to the data yesterday.
Yes, the 4 questions you gave at the end of the session.
Yeah,
and we,
keep it as
the
it is.
same. Keep them as it is, right?
Yeah, keep it as it is.
Okay.
Even I have opened a wrong file. Yesterday was 24th. That's the right file, but how come my date of birth is still not correct? 1 second. Let me just also change the date of birth. Might have deleted it.
We do not change, we did not change the date of birth. We amend only dates.
No, I did change yesterday and I changed this also. It seems like all my work is, I don't know whether I did it. I might have done it for you as an example and then I forgot to remove it. But this one, annual income also has to be text after the delimiter. Make sure your data types are correct. Okay.
We haven't done change annual income.
So do it. Let's do it. Now you know the text function. You
Yes,
know what
yes.
is transformation? Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay,
Convert
and
it
let's
into text.
convert it into text. No, so dollar sign has to be removed and then converted into a whole number.
Okay.
Or if it's like there might be some decimal numbers, let's just put it as a decimal number instead of a whole number, just to make sure nobody has entered into decimals. So just a very quick, if you go through this data set, you will see customer keys text, prefix, first name, last name, all text, date of birth is date, data type, marital status, gender, email address, all text, then annual income, children should be numbers, education level, text, occupation text, homeowner text, full name text, username, domain name text. So this is what we've done so far.
Ishani, I see a format in the header saying 1.2 and 123.
Correct.
Is
1,
it-
2, 3 is whole number, 1.2 is decimal.
So for annual income, we have to keep it as whole number, right?
You can keep it as a whole number or decimal.
Yes,
I'm just
yes.
thinking out loud. What if not everyone has entered a whole number? Then their values get
Yeah.
truncated. So let's just keep it as a decimal. Children, we know it has to be whole number. You can't make it decimal.
Yeah.
So let me know if everyone is done till this part. Sunil, let me know if you were able to connect.
Sure, Ashani.
We had changed annual income to decimal number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shani, please show again how you have converted
So
the number.
basically, ooh, 1 second.
Actually, I was doing mine, so I haven't seen yours.
So it was in this format, right?
Right.
So first thing I did was I went to transform.
Yes,
In transform, yesterday we saw what is there in extract. And I did text after delimiter.
Delimiter. Yes.
Delimiter is a dollar sign. And
Yes.
okay. Once this is done, so typically you've seen when you change the date also, it doesn't change the data type instantly. So this is still text.
Okay,
But now
right
I
click,
can
right?
go over there, yes, and make it a decimal number.
All right. Thank you.
So Shani, if we
You're welcome.
directly use the, if you directly change it to decimal, then then dollar sign automatically vanish. So
Oh,
do I
it
still
did?
need to, yeah.
Oh, if it did, no, then you don't have to extract it. That could also be done. Because sometimes what happens, let's say we are trying to change the data type and you might see that this thing is all green right now, right? You see a green bar underneath the headers?
Yes.
So if it's all green means all of them were able to do it. But sometimes what happens, like for example, in the date, if I would have directly converted into date, you would have seen half is green, half is red. Meaning some dates were converted, someone were not able to convert. So if you see any red component means some kind of cleaning should have been done before you would have changed the data type.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. But over here, I can see it's all green, so it's all good. Okay. Should we start, guys?
Yes, Ishani.
Yes.
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 Okay. Leave this exercise. I want you to work on a different thing. All right. Now we are going to move to the number tools. So this is what a number tool typically looks like. It has got a component called statistics and standard scientific geometric rounding information. Typically in my line of whatever work that I've done is all statistics standard, maximum rounding, but I've never used scientific or trigo or information also. So mostly I use statistics, standard and rounding. What the statistics does is very interesting. It helps you to get a quick understanding about your data. Okay. It will have things like, let me show you over here in Power BI. It will have things like sum of something, minimum of something, maximum of something, median, average, standard deviation, count this thing. But all of these things that you have over here is going to work on a single column and convert that entire table into a single value. I'll show you an example. For example, annual income, right? If I wanted to understand, okay, what is the average annual income of all the customers? So I can go to statistics, and if I click on average, it gives me this number. It says 57,269. This is the annual income of all the customer database that I have, right? But what happened to the table? Is it there?
No.
My table vanished. My table is gone. Because what it does, when you work with the statistics, it converts that table, it works on the aggregation on that table, and it converts to a single value. Typically, why we would do it? Just to get some quick answers in our data, not that we are going to use it in our visualizations. Okay, so how would you use this statistics part? Before you use statistics, I would always advise you, let's say one thing is I use the statistics, I saw the number and I deleted that applied step, like what I did right now, right? Let me repeat it again. In transformation statistics, let's say I wanted to find out how many customers I have. So I can do a count of distinct values. I got an answer of 18,148. My table is gone. Over here, this is the step, calculated distinct count in applied. So if I cross it out, my table is back. But then I don't know what that value is again. All right. Now, what I would say, if you want to store those numbers and remember those numbers for the future use, or you want to refer it, then the best thing is you duplicate this query. You can right click and you can duplicate the query. And to avoid any kind of confusion in terms of table and these kind of calculations you're doing, try to rename them. So we can rename that. I can talk about as average income, right? What I'm going to calculate. And then I can go to the column of annual income. I think I've passed it. Yes. And then I can go to the transform. I can go to statistics and I can click on average and store this value now. So this value will be stored in this query of average income. Is this part clear? I still have my table and I have my value as well.
So Ishani, will it increase the space in backend?
A
Because
little
you are
bit, yes,
creating a
because you're
duplicate
creating new data. So definitely some space would be increased. But one number is not going to increase a lot of space also.
Ishani, can you please repeat again?
Sure. So step number one, what I did was, let me just delete it and create it again. Step number one was I duplicate the query by right clicking, duplicate. To avoid any kind of confusion, I rename the queries. Once this is done, then you can go to transform. And why I'm saying again and again transform, not taking the name of add column, is because this feature of statistics is only in transform tab. Then in transformation, I am going to the annual income. And then in statistics, we are talking about average income. So this is my average income value. Can anybody tell me why do you think statistics is present only in your why statistics present in only in transform? Why not in add columns? Any thoughts behind it?
Yeah,
Because
because
it
number
is showing
flow,
only one time on the number.
yeah, number
Because there is
flow,
only one time, right? And if you say add column means for all the rows you need to generate a value,
You need to generate a column.
right.
right? So if I put one single value 57,269 in front of all the rows, then it will be a wrong depiction of the data,
Exactly. Average.
right? So therefore you will never see that add would have your, it has it, but when you click on it, this is deactivated right now. If you go to numbers, okay, annual this, see standard is activated, but statistics is deactivated in that column because it doesn't make sense to use statistics over here. Okay. All right. Another thing, let's move on. Everyone clear with statistics? So statistics column is available only in transform tab and not in add columns. It is aggregated value of the column, returns only one value, not applied on row level, but on column level. And it helps us to give us some quick summary of the data. Next thing is the standard. What standard does, like the symbol also depicts, it helps us to do simple calculations on a particular column, or we can create a new column or transform the existing column. Something like I want to add certain value or divide everything by a certain value, multiply or subtract a value. So I can modify or create a new column using this standard. So going back over here, so if I can have transform, I can have add column. So let me just go to add column. In standard, you have things like multiply with a certain value, add a value, subtract a value, divide integer will not give you any decimal parts of it. Modulo, this is going to give the, what do you call, the modulus value in it. What is it? I'm not using. Create a column that contains a value in the first selected modulo in the value. What is a modulo? I am not using it. I'll tell you. Huh?
Modulus,
Mod of it.
as we know
Mod
that,
of
yeah,
it.
minus
Enter
of
the number
5.
from which you want to find the remainder. I think this is for the remainder. It is like a mod function of Excel. Enter the number from which you want to find the remainder. It's a remainder. It's a mod function of Excel, modulo. And then we have a percentage if you want to find a certain percentage or a percentage off. So all these things will be done, will be doing a calculation on the existing value. So either you want to transform or you want to create new value. Let's say we want a percentage. We want to create a new column called enter the person to apply. Let's say we want to create a new column by which we are trying to find the spending capacity of our customers. So we are doing an assumption that whatever is the annual income of that 10% is the spend capacity of my customer. So if I want to create that column, I can go to add column, work in standard, in percentage. I have put the value as 10%. And when I click OK, this 10%, it's not 10%. I should not have put percent because over there it's already percentage. So it is already dividing it by 100. So in this case, it divided that by 100. So I will put 10 and then I'll get the 10% value of it, right? So this is the 10% and I can say this is what, this is the spend capacity. So no percentage symbol would be coming. Okay, it will be only 10 that you write and it will do a 10% by itself. So things like this you can work in standard. When it comes to scientific, if you want to do a power of something square, cube, a power, square root, exponential, factorial, like I said, these are typically things that I've never used in my work, never got an opportunity. Trigo not used, but it has something like sines, cosines, tangent, and so on and so forth. Rounding, definitely we can use if you want to round up a value, round down a value, or round a value to a particular decimal spaces. So these are very similar to your Excel. In Excel also you have this round function. Correct? Do I need to give any example of round up, round down, round? Everybody's aware of these three, right?
Yes,
we
yes.
are good.
Yeah. And then there is a function called information. What it typically gives output is a Boolean value. So for example, if I say is even, so any value which is even, it will give a true for it, and any value which is false will be, is not an even, it will give a false value for it. Now our annual income typically had zeros at the end. So all of them have to happen to be a even number, right? So that's why it's coming like this. But if I would have applied this, let's say on number of children, and I can go information, I can go even. So you will see it will be a bunch of true and false. So anywhere where the number of children is 2, 0, that will be true. Anything which is 3, 5, that will be false over here. Again, I know what it does, but never got an opportunity to use it anywhere. Any questions in numbers? All clear, all easy? It's all easy. Guys, when you know Excel, all this becomes super easy.
In statistics, there is one thing that is median.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please explain that? I don't know that function.
Median, basically what it does, if I remember it correctly, Hold on. Let me try to open an Excel file. So when you are looking at a data, typically people look at average or median or mode. So if I remember median correctly, I don't know if anybody has done statistics over here. So if you have, you would be able to correct me. So typically what we used to do in median is that we can arrange the data in ascending order and then find what is the middle value for it. That becomes the median.
Correct.
Or no, correct?
Yeah.
And mode is what? Mode is a frequency of the values, and whichever is the highest frequency, that is the mode, correct?
Yes.
All right, good. I still remember these things. So median is basically arranging it in whatever are the middle values. So for example, how many values I have? I've got 14. This is an even number. So in this case, the middle two, we will find an average and tell that that is a median. Tanu, correct?
Yes, that
Yes,
middle term
Shani.
will be divided every.
Yeah. Still remember things. All right. So that would be the thing in median. Okay. So coming back, next we have the dates, the date tool. Very interesting tool. So things like date and time tool is there. It helps us to extract age. It can have various components like years, months. So it gives very interesting things like I can find which day it is or which month it is. Not only in terms of, let's say it's the second month, it will come as Feb. Which day it is, it will come as Monday, Tuesday. So all these kind of calculations can be done in the date. And again, you will see there is a option of earliest and latest, which will again return one single value. Hence, it is only available in transform feature. So out of the entire date column, if I'm saying which is the earliest, which is the least date, then only one date can pop up and hence available in transform. So latest and earliest are the two which you will see in your transformation, but others you will see they are common to transformation and add column. Now your start of the week, if I'm working with the weekday, so it comes as a number 127. So if I want to change the start of the week, how to do that? I have given this M code. So if I have to read this M code, let's say I'm talking about a day of the week, start of the week, and comma 1. If I put comma 1 represents Monday. And it's not very tough to remember. It gives you a prompt also. And if I want to change it, then I can change this number over here. I'll just show this to you quickly. So I've got date data type. Now let's say in date data type, I'm going to add column. So if I go to date, I've got something called age. Now what age does, let's see. If I click on age, it didn't ask me anything. It created that column. Anybody can tell me what this column might be?
Number of days
From
that day to today.
Correct.
Date of birth.
Yeah.
Not date of birth. Yeah. Birthday.
the date of
So
birth.
today, yeah, the number of days between the two dates. And what are the two dates? It's the birth date on which we had clicked and today. Right? So this is, it says its age, but it's not exactly giving me the age. And what it does is it returns me the data type of with the numbers at the end. Right? So same thing. I don't want it as a time. It's being read as a time. So I can click over here and I can say it's a whole number and get these values. Okay. Yes.
Yes,
Now, if I
Shani.
had to find, this is one of the questions for you in your assignment also. If you have to find the age of the customer, then how would you do it? Like if I want to understand which age group spends most of the money in my retail, then how do I find out the age?
By grouping.
But first is the age. A guy cannot be 20,000 years old, right? Or 20,000 days old.
Divided by 365.
Years.
Divide by 365. Where should I go and divide by 365?
Standard.
In divide standard.
Standard. I can go to transform. I can go to standard, and instead of divide, we should use integer divide. Because if I say how old are you, you are not going to say I'm 27.2 years old.
Okay,
I'm
we got
27
round
years
of
old.
number.
Right.
Rounding of the number. So it only takes the integer part of the division. So once I click on it, so by which number you want to divide? 365.
365.
And once we click OK, I've got the age groups. Is this part clear?
Yeah.
Yes, Ishani. Yes, Ishani.
Yeah. So this is how we can calculate age. Don't do it right now. I have a question on which you will be working. Then let's say what else is there?
Ishani, what was that coding that you were talking about? The one part in the PPT?
I'm going to reach there. I just started. Okay. So this
Ishani,
is
did we
age.
miss
Yes.
did we miss this format part?
Which
Or
format?
the format function in split column and format? This
No,
one?
we didn't. Uppercase, lowercase, trim,
Okay,
add
sorry.
prefix. That's okay.
Maybe I was confused.
All right. So in date, there is also something called age and date only. Date only typically will be used where you have a format of date as well as time. And you want only the date to be there. So you can put date only. Then in year, you have, if I want to extract the year, like 1966, 1965, that I can do. Start of the year will give me 1st of January 1966, 1st of January 1965, if I want to put everything as 1st of the year. End of the year would always be 31st December and the year on which it is working over here. Then similarly, we have month. It can extract the month number. So if I click on month, so it has given me the months. And if I click on start of the month, it will give me the same months and the year are there, but the dates would always be starting with 1. Similarly, if I do end of the month, that would be there, days in a month. So it will help me calculate 30 days, 31 days, 29 days, and so on and so forth. So that's days in the month. Then we have name of the month. So if I click on name of the month, it is going to, instead of giving me the date, it gives me April, May, June, July. Now, why do you think that will be important to extract the name of the month? Do you think it is going to be needed?
It will be helpful
Sometimes the
in
date
creating a
format
chart.
is in different thing.
No, that we are fixing. If the date format is wrong, everything will be wrong. Your functions might not even work.
So there can be a chart wherein we only need
Absolutely. So if you are creating a a monthly,
Yes,
you
we
want
can
to
group
okay,
it,
over a
yeah.
yeah. Oh, in
Yeah.
a month, how many people are coming? Let's say.
Yes.
So rather than saying 1, 2, 3, 4 as a month, which we have to then 4 is April, you have to still think about it and then look at the visualization. Versus if you've converted into month names and then you plot it, then it is easier to read. Then you will say, okay, January is heavy, July, December. So it's easier to read. So for a visualization purpose, we might want to create new columns with the name of the month, and same with the name of the day also. Okay, more like I have year, month, same thing with quarter. It can extract the quarter of the year. It can extract start of the quarter, end of the quarter. Quarter is again a calendar quarter that you're talking about and not financial quarters. Then we have weeks. So this is where your that you were asking where the M code goes. So week of the year, if I do, it'll give me this. This is the 15th week, 20th week, 33 week, 7th week. This is the week of the year out of all the weeks that I have in a year. And then I have week of the month. So this is like going to be second week, third week. So it will be 1 to 4, which week, or 1 to 5 rather, which week of the month it is. Then we have start of the week. So if I say start of the week, you see now over here, this is the place where it was saying, if I say start of the week, what am I taking as start of the week? Is it Monday that I'm supposed to take, or is it Sunday that I should take? So if I want to change the start of the week, then I can write where you have start of the week, each day dot start of the week date. If I put comma 1, So start of the week, day, right? And I put type, date, comma, where is it? One, no, not in this case. Start of the week, date of birth, start of the week as any, first day of the week. Hold on.
Date dot start of the week. After that, we have two brackets, and between that we need to put in, I believe.
Start of the week as null number, date, time. Okay. And in this, you can put date. No, hold on. When I'm not good with M4s. So start of the week and in the bracket date, comma 1. So which date are we talking about? So start of the week, bracket. Then we have to give the date in this case and then the start. So date, which date are we talking about? How will date only come?
I think there's something to do with the square bracket.
Yeah, that is basically if I'm picking up the field from here. But over here, the field, oh, birth date. In our case, it's a birth date. Is it birth date coming up? No. I only wrote the same code and I pasted here. Or add column inserted. Start.
Ishani, we can just do that function date is the column name. We can just code that thing and comma the format.
The name of the function, right? That is birth date.
Right. Then in the
But
inverted
it's
comma.
But it's not coming.
Actually, we can just try with inverting the column name. As before, we see there is a birth date, which is converted into a string, and then the format is written.
Birth date, 1.
Birth date has to be in a string.
Birth date has to be string.
Double quotation.
No. Why it's not coming? Oh, I'm doing transformation. That's why it's not. Hold on. Okay, even if I do this, it's not, there's an unknown identifier. This field is out of expression. Okay. Now we're taking the date value must contain a date component. This component has to be there. Date. Okay. There's nothing called date only. And if I delete this, add column, date, day of the week, start of the week. All right. Start date, each birth. Now it's coming up. See, birth date, and now in front of birth date, if I put a comma 1, or then it will be different. See, now the dates change. This became 4. Over here, it's working. For add column, it's working, but it's not working for transform. Don't know why. Ideally, it should be the same thing. Each date dot start week. Now it changed. I don't know how many of you noticed it. So for example, if you look at the date over here, so date of birth was 4/4, right? And what we did was we did week and we did start of the week. Now start of the week, if I do it as it is, this is coming up 3, 4, 9, 5, 8, 8. And if I add another column where I say, okay, it is the starting of the week is from Monday, then let's see what is the value it's giving. So week, start of the week, and dot Monday would come. Yes, if I say dot Monday, date dot Monday. I think that's what I missed. And enter. No, let's stick to what worked. Comma 1. 1 is Monday. And now if we enter, now you will see the two columns that have been created. This is 3 and this is 4, because Monday, if you take 1966, 4 must be a Monday, but 3 may be a Sunday. So start of the week is, these are all Mondays now. Is it clear what's the difference when you don't do it in versus you do it? So typically it seems it was a Sunday as a default start of the week, and it is all getting shifted by 1 being Monday. Some places it might be the same. No, it will not be the same. So Sunday versus Monday is there. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, Ishani.
Don't need all this. I'll keep 1 in there, this one. Delete. Okay, what else is there in date? Then there is days where you can have start of the day, end of the day, name of the day. So for of all the things, basically name of the day is the one which is used the most, where it will give you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if I put a name of a day over here, you will see these are all Mondays. There is no other day that would come except for Monday, since we said that this is the start of the week. So that's your day name. Other than that, if we had columns which had time, very similar to date, you could have things related to time as well. If we click on it, it will be hours, minutes, and seconds, and things like that. Let me try one thing to show you. If I change the data type of this to time and date, then time has been activated. So time only. If we want to work with hours, minutes, and seconds, then we can work with this. And then you also have duration, which will be between 2 times. If you want to subtract something, then we can have durations, but that has to be completely time-based column that you have. This is date and time. Okay, let's try to apply a few things over here. So calculate the age of the customer. This is super easy. I've already done it for you. Can you calculate the age of the customer?
Done.
Done.
Done. Done.
Everyone done?
Yes, Ishani.
Yes, Ishani done.
It's easy.
correct.
Done. All right. Tarun done, Shweta done, Prasad. Sunil done?
Yes, Ishani, done.
Yes. Arshad, Dhirendra, Girish, Govind.
Yeah, done.
Done. Lalit, Manoj.
Yeah, I'm done, Ishani.
Okay. Neil, Pratibha.
Done, Ishani.
Done. Radha Krishnan.
Just done.
Done. Nobody's left, right? Vivek, done.
Ishani, what did you do to ensure that there is no decimal?
Integer divide.
Integer divide. in standard integer divide. All right. Now, since everyone is done,
Done.
so yes. Done, right?
Done,
So,
Ishani.
okay, perfect. So now you will see that when you click on add column, there are two choices of column. One is called, in fact, there are three choices in columns that we get. One is called a custom column, one is called a conditional column, and one is called an index column. So what is this custom column all about? So custom column means, for example, over here, we had calculated a spend capacity using all these functions, and we had created a new column by doing some kind of calculation on the existing column, right? Or we calculated age, we did certain calculation on an existing column and we divided and all those things. Same thing you can do in custom column also. So once I click on custom column, what it does, it tells, okay, what is the name of the new column that you want? Let's say the new name of the column is spend capacity, and I'll put it as 2 so that we know this is a second column. And how do you create a custom column? It will be created using the existing or the available columns that you have. So these are my available columns. So I can say annual income, all the fields will come in square bracket. I can do into 10%. 0.1 doesn't take 10%, so 0.1, and click OK. So what it does, it creates a new column called spend capacity. And how did we create it? We used custom column for it. So what is the main role of custom column? Custom column allows you to create new columns using the existing columns and doing calculations on top of it. Is this part clear?
Yes,
Will this also help in concatenating two columns?
Yes, you can concatenate two columns. For example, over here, if I wanted to name full name too, because we already have a full name. So we have a column called prefix. So we can use this. We can put an ampersand. Then we have the first name. We can use it. Then the ampersand. Then we have got something called the last name. We can use it. And in between, we have those spaces also that we want in between the names.
Okay.
Right? Something like this. And then we can click OK. And there you go. Your full name is there. Okay, so all this custom column, pretty much, the best part about Power BI is that one thing that you did in Power Query using one of the tool set, there are not just multiple ways of doing it. So whatever is your comfort level, you can do it. These kind of things we can do without the Power Query also, using DAX functions, which people don't find very easy to grasp. But all this, what I've done in the backend, I could have done without reaching this backend also by using some formulas over here. So one particular thing can be done in multiple places, multiple ways, depending on what you're comfortable with, you adopt that. Second column is called a conditional column. Now, like the name suggests, it helps me to create conditions, right? Simple example, we have a column called total children. So let's say I want to divide my data into two categories, or my customers into two categories, small family and large family. Anybody who has 2 or less number of children, we categorize as a small family. Anybody who has more than 2 children is going to be categorized as large family. And let's say if anybody has 0 children, then we'll say no children. No children, small family, large family. So I want to create a column based on the total number of children, which categorizes as a customer as no children, small family, large family. Is it thing clear what we are trying to achieve?
Yes, Isha.
Yes, so we will go to conditional column, and just like you remember your if functions in Excel.
Yes, it's
So it is a if function that's applied over here, but you're not writing any function over here. So we can give this name as a family size. And let's say you are going to pick the column name. Column name is total children is we can put equal to, does not equal to, greater than. Let's say if it is greater than or less than or equal to 2, or let's start with 0 first. If it's 0, then I want to name it as no children. And we can add a clause. It's like if, next nested if kind of a thing. If it is less than or equal to 2, then I want to call it a small family. Else I want to call it a large family. So now I can go to the else part. I don't have to add a clause, and I can say it as a large family. So this is what we have done, is something that you used to do in your nested if or your if function, where you were doing a conditional check, and based on whether the condition is true, you are giving an output. So this part is value of true. And else if is the value of false. If this is not going to be true, then it goes to the next statement and checks if it's true and returns a value. If none of them are true, then it goes and returns the last part, which is large family. Understandable, right? Anything that you're not able to understand? Easy?
No, Shani, yes. Yes.
Right? We can click on OK, and you get a categorization of small family, large family, and no children. So just to do a quick check on our data, whether it worked or not, let's click on large families. So now when I look at the number of children in anybody over here, it should be 3 and above. So you will see 3, 4, 5 only has come up. So anything which is 2 and above, basically not 2, only above 2 is large family. Anything which is below 2 or equal to 2 is small family, and 0 is no children.
Okay, Shani, so these columns will be created in the end.
Yeah, typically it gets created at the end, and it does not matter honestly where they are getting created. The reason being, when you move in the front end, let's say if I go over here.
And Ishani, do we have option to move columns from, first to last or in the middle?
Like I'm saying, it won't make any difference. The reason what I said is all this is alphabetically arranged.
Oh, yeah.
Your family size is going to end up over here. So where it is in the back end has no meaning, because these are always alphabetically arranged. Okay.
Ishani, could you please do this step again, as my call was disconnected?
This what are you calling, custom column? Conditional column.
Yeah, no. Conditional column.
Conditional column, absolutely. So what we did in conditional column was, we said that, okay, let's categorize the customers based on the children. If it is 0, then we'll call no children. If it's less than equal to 2, then we'll say it's a small family, otherwise a large family. So this conditional column is in your add column, conditional column over here, and let's add. So we gave the name of the value, family size, and then the name of this is total children, equal to 0. If it is true, then what do I want as an output? It is no children. And then I can add a clause. If this is not true, it comes to else if. Over here again, I can do total children and less than or equal to, and I can put 2, and over here then we can put small family. And else means if none of them are true, then we want to put a large family.
Ishani.
Yeah.
When I select the column name, there are showing only column 1, column 2, column 3 like this. Not showing the total column, total children.
Who will tell Vivek what is wrong? So his thing is, when he's looking at the column names, like when I click, I get to see customer key, prefix, first name, last name. He's not able to see that. So what might be wrong in the data?
The headers not selected.
Not about header. You don't do any selections in this case.
Add column.
We need to keep use first row as headers.
Yes, you have to see that you're promoted. Your headers are appearing over here on the top or not.
Okay.
What do you see over here? You see column 1, column 2? On the very top.
Yes.
Yes. And what do you need to do in order to take care of it? You need to promote your first row as headers.
Click on home, then
In the
use first
home
row.
ribbon, use first row as headers.
Yes, use first. Okay.
Okay. Now when you go, you will be able to see the name of the
I'm
fields.
getting it. One
Can
data
you
is
share your
more.
can you share your screen?
I'm logging on
In a
Zoom.
different machine. All right. What are you able to see? Okay.
Can you see my screen?
I can see you though.
So
No, I can't see you. I can
Reverse
see
your
you,
camera.
not your. Yeah, reverse your camera. We can see you, not the screen yet.
I don't know.
Yes, now we can see the screen.
Okay. So
okay. I think if I stop share, then the screen becomes big. Yes. Date format. We couldn't convert to numbers. Customer key. Data format error. We couldn't convert to a number. What did you do? How did you end up over here? Click on the table at the bottom. The one at the bottom. What is there? Two queries are there, right? Okay, error.
yes.
Can you delete an applied step of promotion? Customer key, correct. Now promote. Now it's correct.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Ishani, regarding this if function, so here we are applying certain condition, single condition to give up a output basis that condition.
Correct.
Is there a functionality of having a function of and giving multiple condition?
We do. You can use a custom column for that.
By adding a new column via custom column.
Right. Correct.
Okay.
And the function is and.
It's the same as Excel, right? And
if you have two logical steps, we use and. If you have more than two logical steps, then you use double ampersand sign for and over here. Okay. What I mean is, let's say, for example, if you were just going to compare two things, let's say the gender is equal to male, right? And let's say profession is, I don't know, what is a profession over here? Let's say manager. Then we can use and. But if there was another condition that I need to check, then the symbol for and becomes double ampersand.
okay.
Okay. All right. And this will happen in your custom column then.
Okay, got it, Ishani.
All right. Okay, so this is conditional column. One last thing in add column that we can cover today is the use of index column. So yesterday, not yesterday, but day before yesterday when we started, we were talking about tables having a primary key. Is it necessary that all the tables do have a primary key, or sometimes we have to create one?
No, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary, right? But I know, let's say, for example, in this case, it's not that a customer automatically gets a customer key. We are giving it. So let's say we recorded this data. We know all these columns are unique. All these rows are unique rows. But there is not any one column by which I can say, okay, I can identify using these values that this is a unique row. So I need to add a primary key to my tables. So the way of adding a primary key column to your table is using the index column. So if I simply click on index column, you will see what it does. It gives from 0, 1, 2 as an increment of 1. It will keep on putting the values and create this column. If I want to change it, so if I want to change this index, so I can have starting, I can say, okay, start from 1, increment of whatever you want. It could be 1, it could be 100, or like in this case, the number starts from 11,000. So I could have said, okay, start from 11,000 with an increment of 1, and then my values will become like this. So the purpose is very simple. If your table does not have a primary key, this is a medium of giving a primary key to a table. And you can decide how do you want you want continuous with a increment of 1, or you want with more increment. Clear?
And this is where we don't have a primary key and we intend to create one. But
Right.
if there is no primary key and we have a unique column in the table, but that is not a primary key right now, and we want to convert it to primary key. So is there a way?
You want to convert what into primary key?
Any column.
Basically, how does a column, what is the definition of a primary key? How do you identify a primary key column?
It has a unique value in it.
So automatically it's a primary key, right? Why do you have to convert it into a primary key?
Okay, so it automatically picks one.
Yeah. No, not picks one. Basically, you are the person who are controlling your data tables, and you are only telling, okay, boss, this is a primary key, this is not a primary key, right? What I meant over here was, for example, I know that all the records in this table are unique. All the rows are unique, but prefixes are, all repeating. First names may be repeating, last names may be repeating. Every column, there is nothing like each row will be unique in one particular column. But all together, this is all unique, right? In that case, I might use index column and create something called a customer key. If it did not exist. And then I will say, okay, customer key is my primary key.
Okay. So the scenario that I'm talking about, that for example, there is a column called customer key and there is a column called OHR ID.
Okay.
Both are unique, and I don't want the OHR ID to be unique. I just want the customer key to be unique, to be the primary key.
So then you use it as a primary key, right? There is no, like in SQL and all, you define that, okay, this is my primary key. We don't have to define it over here.
Okay.
When you create relationships, yes, we don't pinpoint that this is my primary key. When we create relationships, that's the time you have to understand which is your primary key and connect the values.
Okay, got it.
Okay. By default, they are, treated like that.
I'm mixing up SQL with.
That's okay. Everyone will. I'll also mix it. Don't worry. SQL is a very important component of Power BI. All right. So we convert index. We did this conditional columns. Group by is left. Time is up. That's okay. All right. That's it. So next time when we meet, we will, I think next like Monday class, we should be able to finish this entire area of Power Queries or the transformation part. And Tuesday onwards, we should get into data models. So that's it. No more. Yes.
Shani, do we have to replicate this data that you have made the changes to ours one?
Yes, you can. You can quickly create this table of which one I created, the family size. Family size. Yeah. Just create this column of family size. That's it.
Every action that every changes that you've done in the
no only family size. Only create a column called family size, where you're defining no children, small family, and a large family. That's it.
Okay.
Usually, index column, could you please repeat once again?
Index column, like the name suggests, what it is done, it is used to create sequential number of column. Okay, and used for creating unique key for a table for a relationship if it does not exist in a table. So typically index in Power BI starts from 0. So if I don't do anything and I try to create an index column, you saw that it started from 0. Okay.
Yeah. So Isani, the index and 1000 and incremental 1. I think
yes. So this over here, I said starting index is 1100. But if you don't give anything, it will take starting index as 0, increment as 1.
Okay, okay.
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 So if I
Okay.
want to change my starting index, I put a value over here.
Okay. And incremental will change.
You
then
can also change. Yep.
So increment is also, it's by default if we are not given anything.
By default,
one?
it's 1, but we can change. Absolutely.
Okay. So thank you, Ishani. Yeah.
All right. You're welcome. So make sure you close and apply, save your file. And I'm going to give you notes till.
So Ishani, please, once I will show again. my screen.
1 second. Stop share. Yeah.
It's just doing something different.
You've got given starting of what, 100 and an increment of 1500.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's giving me like this.
no, move right, move right.
Sorry.
Scroll right. I can see it just at the bottom. Just scroll more. At the bottom, you have a bar, na?
Yes.
Scroll more.
Can you see?
Yeah, this one. Click on the arrow.
Oh, 1 minute.
That arrow only that you were placing it on. Click on the drop down once. Click on the drop down on the top. It's just, I think numbers are not visible to you. Click on the drop down in index. See, it is there. It's just you have to move more right. You understood? The column is half visible to you.
Okay.
But the value has been generated
100
correctly.
का 1 दिख रहा है विवेक से थोड़ा scroll करो
Because
तो
you have to move right, more right from the bottom. So if I share my screen,
Error option is on, so I can't understand.
wait, I'll tell you. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So this scroller at the bottom, scroll it all the way to the right. Right now it is just a tiny bit this side. So you're not able to see the entire thing. Just scroll all the way to the right at the bottom.
And in this Power BI, is there any limit of columns?
No.
No.
No. Did you get it? Faisal?
It was not me, Vivek.
Oh, sorry, Vivek. Vivek, did you get it?
Yes, Ishani.
Now you're able to see all the numbers.
I can see the numbers, but it's I can't understand. Oh, first is 100.
And then will be 100 plus 1500. That will be 1600 plus 1500, 31, 31, yes, 3100.
Yes.
You said starting is 100 and increment is of 1500. So it starts with 100 and keeps on adding 1500 for the next number.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to upload the notes till what we have done till today, till 20th. I'll upload these notes. I'll upload the file in a Google Classroom and Google Drive and give you the link for my current file also. If you missed anything, if you want to look at any formulas or the working, then you can do that. And that's it. Next time when we meet, we should be able to complete our query part. And on Tuesday, we should be able to move on modeling. All right, then you have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you back on Monday.
Thank you, Shani.
Thank you so much, Shani. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend, Shani.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Shani.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Shani. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.